The topic what look this in this video overhead analysis. I am Mathankumar, Assistant Professor PG and Research Department of Commerce, CPA College, Bodinayakanur. Now, first we are discuss about the meaning of overhead. Overhead, which means expenses. So, any expenditures over and above the parent cost is known as overhead. All the indirect expenses are included in overhead. Then definition of overhead. According to ICMA, the total cost of indirect materials, wages and expenses. Then the steps involved in overhead accounting. The following steps are involved in overhead accounting. So first one is collection of overhead. Second one is classification of overhead. Classification of overhead. So classification is the process of grouping cost according to their common characteristics. The various classifications are functional classification like that manufacturing, factory, production overhead, office administration overhead, selling and distribution overheads. Then elements wise classification like that indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses. Then based on the behavior, on the basis of behavior, so overhead, fixed overhead, variable overhead, semi-variable overhead. Then third step is allocation and apportionment of overhead. So allocation is the process of charging the amount of overhead costs to be particular cost center or department. This is possible when the nature of expenses can be easily identified with a particular cost center or department. For the examples, overtime wages paid to the workers related to a particular department should be charged to that department. Then apportionment is allotment of expenses which cannot be identified with the particular department. Such expenses can be apportionment to two or more cost unit. So cost apportionment will arise in cases of expenses common to more than one cost unit. For example, depreciation, rental rates, lighting and workers and managers salaries, like that. Then fourth step one is reapportionment of a service department cost to production department. After the overhead can be classified between production and service department, can the cost of service departments to be reapportioned to production department, which are benefited by their services. This process is known as secondary distributions. Any one the following methods may be adopted for this purpose. Direct redistribution method, then step distribution method, reciprocal services method. Reciprocal service method, in order to overcome the limitation of above methods, this methods is adopted. Then this method can be subdivided into following three. First one is simultaneous equation method, repeated distribution method, then trial and error method. So finally, absorption of overhead by production units. Thank you.